You're calling a work session to order. We don't have a quorum. We can't have a meeting.
A work session,
Thank you.
5:15. So we don't do a roll call either until we get a quorum, right?
Right.
Okay,
And actually, I don't have to take notes either, but I will.
thank you. Well, seeing Joan's there, we might as well just go to her first. So
Lynn,
go ahead, Joan.
will you be having another meeting soon when you do have a quorum?
Well, we're hoping that Steve is going to come on tonight, so we will have a quorum. But you can present tonight so that we can understand what's going on.
Okay, thank you. And would you like me to start?
Sure.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'll introduce myself. I'm Joan Savoy. I'm a Townsend resident, and I am chair of the Affordable Housing Trust Fund. I asked Lynn to add me to your agenda tonight because I have submitted a petition to the town that will be up for vote at town meeting in May. And it's very brief. I'll read it to you. It says, due to the unusually high turnover in the Townsend treasurer / collectors and accounting offices, we respectfully request a forensic audit starting with fiscal year 2016 to the present day. The funds to pay for the forensic audit will come from the town blank fund. And I am, any questions?
Is that the only one that you're going to have done as the treasurer? Or
As,
the,
I don't understand as the treasurer.
well, the forensic audit, it has to be specific. So which department are you going to have it done on?
I think the whole, the accountant and the treasurer, the whole shebang.
Okay, so
Now I did, Swampscott did a similar forensic audit recently, and it ran about 45,000. All funds need to be audited. And Swampscott recently did a similar audit, and it cost about $45,000. So I do come here asking for your committee to kindly consider funding the bulk of the cost of the audit. I can come up with the rest, but I'm asking the finance committee to commit to $35,000 if that is doable and you approve.
No. Joan, we don't, except for the reserve fund, which is for emergencies and departments, we have no money to provide to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
You're a citizen. We can't provide it to the public. It can only go to town departments.
Well,
The departments that you're on is not are not the people requesting the audit. We have no money. The finance committee, as such, has no money to provide. The only thing we can do is either approve or not approve of wherever the selectmen decide to pull the money to fund your article.
okay, well, the money would not, thank you, Andrea. The money would not be coming to me. It would be just going
No,
to,
yeah.
yeah. Or my board. This has nothing to
Right.
do with the Affordable Housing Trust Board.
Yeah, right.
So you're Andrea, you're saying then that I have to go to the BOS and ask them to ask to, can you explain what you just said, please?
They're the ones that are in charge of getting money. They don't, because your article was submitted by petition, and the article is the article, right? The specifics of an article are in the motion that is made, like who you want audited, to what degree, et cetera, et cetera. If it passed town meeting, and because it's there potentially, because it might pass, you have to see to the funding would be available to fund it. But that all falls, that part of the business all falls to the Board of Selectmen, not to the Finance Committee.
Okay, that wasn't my understanding.
What is your understanding? Maybe I'm just misexpressing myself.
No, my understanding was that the finance committee did have funds.
Well, we have, like I said, we have a thing called the reserve fund, but that can only go to fund departments who have shortfalls during the year for an emergency, an unexpected expense.
Got you. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Back to the drawing board. Any questions for me before I sign off?
Madam Chair, Lynn, this is Laura Schifrin. Can I
Yes,
ask a question as a citizen, please?
sure.
When was the last time that Townsend audited their accounting and treasurer's offices?
Last year,
You had an audit
or
last year.
this year, it just finished not long ago. We do an audit, a basic audit every single year.
Who does the audit for Townsend?
Oh, I forget the name of the company. They're in New Hampshire.
Where are the reports of each audit each year? Are they online? It should be public information.
Madam Chair? Lynn, could I address that question?
Yes, I got froze again, but I wanted you to see if you knew who it
Sure.
was.
Yep. Lori, every year the town, every city, every municipality in the state has an audit, a financial audit done. It's comprised of two components. One is the financial statements, where they look at the actual general ledger accounts and they audit the books. And the other is a management letter, which is kind of the narrative executive summary, and they cite if they find any deficiencies or if they have any recommendations to make to improve internal controls. You are correct that that is public information. The audits reside in the town accountant's office. Given that we don't currently have a town accountant, I'd be happy to pull it. I don't know if you want to see maybe for the period of time of Ms. Savoy's referenced article, fiscal 2016 forward. If you want to see what those audits look like, I'd be happy to pull those. And now that we have a website that's a little cleaner to navigate, maybe we can get them posted. In fact, I'm wondering, as I said, I'm wondering if they even are on the accountant's webpage. Let me check.
Okay, because, yeah, I'm familiar with the financial audits and the letters of recommendation made by the auditors.
Yeah,
So I would be interested in seeing those.
sure. Let me just see what we got.
I haven't looked for them online. So if they're there, I apologize for my question.
Audited financials. Let's see. Yes, right now, if you just type in the search bar on the town website, the word audit,
Uh-huh.
you'll see the third result down is audited financials. And online right now is fiscal 11 through fiscal 18. And then there's a another standalone document there that I'm not certain what it is, but I know that we've got 19 and 20. 20 was just completed. So I'll see that we get 19 and 20 uploaded in the next day or so.
Okay, are the letters with each year?
Yep. There's the audited financial statements and the management letter.
Management letter, right, okay. Thank you very much.
You got it.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Jim, you want to church?
we have no other questions. We will move on.
He can. He's in the bushes, in the trees.
Okay, now, Andrea, on the additions or deletions,
Yes,
are we gonna, or can we do the fire?
oh, the letter from, Mr. Shepherd, you mean?
Yes.
I don't think, well, it's an emergency, but it isn't ours. I would think that there would be rash behavior to address the letter before we discussed it with Chief Boynton.
Okay.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Jim.
on that issue, Chief Boynton did notify the offices here that he was going to be unavailable for a short period of time and that he had Deputy Chief Shepherd sitting in his capacity. And I know that this is an issue that Chief Boynton was working on prior to him stepping away. So this is not news to Chief Boynton, and I feel confident that everything Deputy Chief Shepherd is doing is completely in alignment with what Chief Boynton would want to be done if it were him sitting here tonight. It is a pretty dire situation when you have frontline pieces of fire apparatus in the condition that Deputy Chief Shepherd cites. I know, I don't believe there's a formal reserve fund request in front of you for consideration, and I don't know that you've got a quorum to act on it, even if there was, but just to have it on your radar screen is important, and perhaps at your next meeting, which we may need to beg you to do so sooner than later, we would have a formal request in front of you for some consideration to get some of the more dire parts taken care of.
Yeah. Somebody's gotta go on mute, because I can hear the background.
Oh, I gotta be on mute.
Don't do that. I will. You could.
Oh,
Should
here.
be down- Yeah, down at the bottom. There you go. Thanks, Sam. Okay, I just wanted to get a head start on it, just to bring it out so that people know about it. And that when we do get a quorum, we can go a little faster.
Well, I have a question for Jim.
Yes.
From what you said then, is it likely that the fire department budget is going to increase?
No. I think it's likely that you'll see a reserve fund transfer request because this year's budget, specifically the line that would be taking care of repairs like this, is already depleted. So I don't think this will be a recurring expense, but it is unforeseen and emergent in nature, which is why it would be appropriate to come to you folks.
True. Do they have any money? Well, I should be able to look, but I'm just gonna ask in case you know.
In
Do they
Mr.
have any
Shepherd's-
money left?
Yeah, and Mr. Shepherd's last email of this morning, he shows that line item is in deficit already.
I thought that's what he had said, yeah.
Yeah,
When do you expect you'll next have a posted meeting.
Well, we have it every Thursday.
So unless there was something really, really emergent that we had to beg you to get together sooner, at a minimum would be next Thursday.
Yes.
Not, Kim, Lynn, that's not necessarily true. We might be able to get together earlier than that, but not at 5 o'clock. That's what,
Right.
5 o'clock is part of the problem.
Right, gotcha.
Yeah. Because if Steve joins us, we'll have a quorum tonight.
But we don't currently have a reserve fund transfer request formally submitted to you.
Correct.
We just
And
have an open-ended.
that's what I needed to understand because I didn't know Boynton was gone.
Yeah, he's just out for the week. So he's,
Yeah. So
I
then
have-
we can relay back to him that he needs to do a transfer.
yeah, and in his absence, I'd be happy to work with Deputy Chief Shepherd to get that paperwork all filled out. So if it's between now and your next Thursday meeting, we'll get it filled out and make sure we get it to you in advance so you can have it submitted around to your folks before the meeting.
I don't mean, I know the fire department is terribly important. But May is almost here. If we only have $40,000 in the reserve fund, would it be possible or likely that we could release a part of the money from the reserve fund and then they could make a municipal transfer for the rest in case someone else has a problem?
It's kind of six of one, half dozen the other though, Andrea, right?
Yes,
So-
that's true.
If we tap out your reserve fund, then the next person would be in that window within which they could do a municipal relief transfer with concurring votes of your board and the select board versus only fixing half the loaf now in the fire department and rolling the dice on emergencies and leaving that there in case somebody needs it. So I would hope that we'd be able to do the whole thing and get everything fixed at one time.
Jim,
That was the answer I expected.
Jim,
Yes, sir.
what apparatus are we talking about and the purpose for them?
I will-
Refresh me. I think I read this earlier.
Yep. I'll pull up an email. Oh, apologize.
That's not an email.
No, that's not. That's a telephone. Let's see. All right. So that's not going to help me.
I'm glad you're reading.
Do you want Hartley so you can share?
No, I'm just going to read it. That's fine.
Okay.
Let's see. All right. So this came in 2 days ago. It is ladder one, frontline and highest priority. This truck company has JAWS and life safety extrication equipment. Issues are regen issue with the emissions, overheating issue with the power plant engine. Received 3 quotes and expecting more. They range from $3,300 to $22,750. All require a diagnostic survey to determine the internal issue. Engine number 2, frontline attack engine assigned to West Townsend. Issue 1, coolant issue for the engine, $3,923.28, currently operational. However, it's time sensitive. Issue number 2, the pump operator's control panel in need of repair to watch water level and availability during pumping activity. Engine 3, frontline attack engine assigned to the harbor station. Rear brakes in need of replacement, brakes, drum, shoes, material $750, $800 estimate. It's a safety issue. And issue number 2 with engine 3 is 2 compartment doors ripped off at a structure fire. Not a major issue as it can run without the doors. It's Deputy Chief's observation as a mass licensed appraiser to consider avoiding an insurance claim pending the availability and pricing of the doors, which from his experience with supply chain issues could pose a challenge, and time delay. Summary, 3 frontline pieces in need of attention to adequately and confidently protect the life and property of Townsend property and its residents. If I may be of any assistance in a timely request of direction, please feel free to reach out to my cell. He lists his cell, yours in service, Gary Shepherd, Deputy Chief, Townsend C1. Now, there were a couple of follow-up emails where he was fine-tuning some of the numbers, but let's see if I can see what this one is.
Somewhere, didn't he estimate that it would be around 49,000?
I'm looking at the email the next day
Literally just read that, yes.
to get the
Yesterday.
cost estimate close.
Where did it go?
I added the parts for the pump on engine 2 at $548.40 without shipping and labor. The estimate for the brakes for engine 3 complete is $1,683. During a training exercise, 2 small forestry pumps of our 3 are in need of repair or replacement. These pumps I estimate to be 15 to 20 years old, and throwaway pumps at that age would require $2,742. This time has given me a clearer view that range of total repairs minimum in a perfect world with limited engine issues in the ladder truck of $12,197.21 to a high of $36,397.87. So a range of 12,000 to 36,000.
How do I lose these things? Can I-
So did you get your answer, Sam?
Yeah, I'd say it's kind of rather important. And I really can't think of much more important. This year has been exceptionally dry. We usually come out of the winter here with the barn basement full and overflowing with water, which usually seeps down into the well that waters the horses. Today is the first day it's rained in over 2 weeks. They talking about rain in the future weeks coming, but it's hard to tell that that's really going to happen. We could be going into a wet season, but we're supposed to be in the middle of a wet season right now. And we didn't even start with the March rains. So yes, I would be concerned about any kind of fire, jumping over into the forest, the woods around us, because most of us all live pretty close to woods.
Hmm.
And these woods are tender. In fact, I usually have a burn piled out here several times during the spring, summer, and fall to get rid of debris. And at the present time, I'm planning not to build a fire pile in such a way that it doesn't have to be lit until sometime in the fall when the rains may return. So basically, yeah, it's kind of important to keep our fire apparatus up and running. The things called pumps that get water onto the fire.
Hmm. Okay. Andrea?
Yes.
Okay, did you have any more questions about the chief?
No, I was just awfully worried that because there's a range of prices that we won't have enough anyway. That's all.
Right. Well, the last memo said between 12K and 36K.
Yeah, it's a lot of difference.
Yeah. So I don't know. The question would be, how fast can he get his estimates in? And he would also have to do a transfer.
Yes.
I see Jim left for a bit.
He may be looking up for some materials for this thing, you know, or,
Oh, there he is.
yeah.
Having been in the automotive business most of my life, estimates are hard to nail down any more than an estimate. So the range that was given is based on a whole lot of maybes until you get into the middle of the project itself. Vehicles are very difficult to ascertain exactly what is necessary to get it repaired and replaced.
Right.
Right.
I think that range is just trying to be as conservative as possible. And worst case scenario, play the hand that we get into the thing, every piece is broken open to begin the repair and more is discovered that's wrong. At that point, to bring up Andrea's point, we would be in the municipal relief transfer season. And we might have to look at going down that road and if we had to. But I mean, the bigger point I think that Deputy Chief Shepherd is leaving us with is these are frontline pieces, and with the knowledge we have, we need to be as prudent as possible at getting them repaired and operable.
Jim, I know you can't operate within a deficit except for snow and ice.
Yep.
How are we going to handle the deficit within the fire department budget
Well,
of $18,000?
Yeah, as I understand it, reading Deputy Shepherd's email, it's a deficit within the specific line that the repair would need to be made out of. So it's not as much a deficit in the total.
Okay. That's what I thought too. So we would just take money from other places to satisfy.
Correct. If
All right,
necessary,
that's
yeah.
great.
Mm. Hopefully he'll have something for us next week.
I've just been communicating a little bit with Chairwoman Kell during this discussion, and the select board meeting tomorrow morning at 10:30, and she's going to put this on for discussion at their board meeting as well. So I think with both your board and the select board coming at this thing, we should be able to wrestle it to the ground and get it taken care of. So between now and next Thursday at a minimum, we'll get that paperwork for you. Get the numbers as tight as possible and get the appropriate paperwork to you.
Great. All right, so that's all we can, unless anybody else. Just sent us the updated warrant for the articles.
I did, yeah. There are a couple things need still to be filled in. Nothing on the warrant articles themselves, just the descriptions. So several of them still need to have a blurb thrown in just to give the kind of Reader's Digest version of what the article is about.
Will that be settled tomorrow morning?
I'm not certain. I have a select person calling me. I apologize. I should
Okay.
jump for a minute.
Andrea?
Yes,
Are you gonna join the meeting tomorrow morning?
I had planned on it,
Yeah, I did too. So,
but I don't know. It's nice that they did this, and I'm glad you brought this up because it was for us a work session. If they're having a work session tomorrow, I don't know if they can address it and vote on it because it is not on their agenda.
which piece?
The Chairman Kell said that they would address Gary Shepherd's concerns tomorrow. But if it's not on their agenda, how can they address it?
because Jim just said that they were adding it to the agenda.
As a revisement. How could they revise a meeting when the posting facility is closed?
I'm not sure unless they pop it in first thing in the morning.
It can be on under unforeseen prior to the posting. That's usually in every agenda, so they should be fine.
Yes, it because it would qualify as an emergency. That's true. Didn't think of that. Thank you, Lori.
Okay. There's really no sense to go over there because we don't have a quorum. The only other thing we had on the agenda was to discuss updating the financial portion of the website.
I talked to Veronica at their meeting,
Yeah.
and she said they were looking into a way to do that. And I asked if one of us, having some board that has support, do it for us. And I asked if one of us could be trained to do it, and she said that would be possible too.
Okay. So then, when the group gets together, we'll find out who can do it out of our group. So we'll have to move that till next week. Oh, Jim's back.
Sorry about that.
You have
Your
anything?
shoes have been here all the time.
What's
Yeah.
that?
Your shoes were already here.
Yeah, yeah. Good looking shoes.
I wouldn't go that far.
All right. Anything else? Anybody has any concerns or issues?
That's such a loaded question.
Yeah, I know, but because we don't have a quorum, we're gonna have to adjourn the work session. And we'll have to finish our budgets and articles next week, but Andrea and I will be on the call tomorrow
Okay,
so
Excellent.
that we can get an update on what's going on.
excellent. Well, we'll see you guys tomorrow at 10:30 then.
All righty.
Good night.
Good night.
Stay safe in the snow.
Enjoy the weather while you have it.
Yeah.
Take care. Good night.